A state of emergency declared for areas in Mississippi impacted by the remnants of Tropical Storm Arthur. A rare level 4 out of 4 risk of flash flooding was issued Thursday. Radar estimates show over a foot of rain fell in parts of Mississippi. Multiple water rescues were performed across the state. Governor Tate Reeves joins us from Jackson, Mississippi to discuss ongoing recovery efforts. Good morning to you, Governor. Thank you so much for joining us. We have shown so much video of scenes across Mississippi, levels of water reaching homes, stalled out cars. So tell us what you've seen on the ground. What does it look like across the state?
Well, good morning, Melanie, and thanks for having me on. Obviously, Tropical Storm Arthur has proven to be a bear to deal with. Immense amounts of rain, already elevated levels of water. And one of the things that, and we talk about this in every natural disaster, but every different type of disaster you have to deal with differently. And rising water and flooding is one of the more challenging natural disaster events that occurs. We also have the challenge in Mississippi that as we stand this morning, Saturday morning, there's actually an elevated flooding risk in virtually every county in our state. Obviously, some more than others, particularly down on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, the pictures that you've shown with a significant amount of rainfall. And then as you are showing the radar, the other challenging thing that we're dealing with is we're continuing to get rain and expecting to continue to get rain certainly throughout today and maybe over the next several days.
I was just looking at radar before you came on air with us, and we have some heavy rain that's working across Alexandria right now. And we're also showing some of that video footage from Picayune, one of those spots that was hardest hit. These conditions we were talking about were dangerous for first responders and emergency officials. Rain rates, specifically in Franklin County, reached up to 5 inches per hour. And sadly, that's where a road worker died in that county while assisting with storm cleanup. Have there been any other reported deaths from the flooding?
No, not at this time. We only have one reported fatality there in Franklin County. We are praying for the family. But again, we have emergency first responders out and about in multiple counties throughout our state. They continue to be. We initially activated 4 of our swift boat response teams. They have been helping people get to safety over the last 3 to 4 days. We did not have any major recoveries overnight last night, so that's a positive development. But again, we stand ready as a state, working with our local partners to get out and help people, because as I mentioned earlier, when you're living near a river or a lake, and you look out at 8 a.m. one morning and the lake is 25, 30, 40 feet from you, and then by 8 o'clock that night it's getting near your house. It happens very quickly, and it puts people at risk and in harm's way. And so we want to make sure that we have as many resources as are available to us to get out and help our people across the state and encourage everyone to know that it's a challenging time, and please be mindful.
You mentioned those water rescues. In your mind, how do you think that the overall emergency response went? And do you feel that the state is ready for the rest of hurricane season?
Well, we continue to be in response mode for Tropical Storm Arthur. I do like to point out to our team and to everyone here watching, this is Tropical Storm Arthur, which means the letter starts with an A, this is the first named storm of this particular season. And so this could be the first of many. We always learn from the response and always learn from every storm on ways in which we can get better. And I'm sure we will find ways in which to do that this time. But I'm incredibly encouraged and so proud of the work of so many people in the emergency management space here in Mississippi. Our local emergency managers, our fire and our police, all of our members that just really, they do what Mississippians always do. They've stepped up and they've helped their friends and their neighbors in times of disaster. And I couldn't be more proud to be a Mississippian today.
It certainly is times like these when we see the community come together. And as we take a look at some of that footage of these homes and businesses that were impacted, do you have a number yet of how many homes or businesses that were flooded, and any message to any of those residents or business owners that were impacted by this?
Yeah, we've seen the beginning remnants of the reporting stage of how many numbers there may be. I don't have specifics now that I feel comfortable that they're actually going to be there. We've got 10 counties that have reported damage, but the damage in these storms include individual homes, they include individual businesses, but they also include roadways that have been washed out, bridges that have been washed out. So we'll have both public and individual needs that will come from this particular storm. We're continuing to work with our local emergency managers in various areas. This has been a whole of government approach. For instance, you mentioned Picayune earlier. That's down in Pearl River County. We had a potential dam break in Pearl River County. So we had Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality regulates dams in our state, and we've got that particular threat. We think at this time managed, although we're monitoring it very, very closely. So again, there's a wide variety of different types of damages that occur in flooding situations like this, and some of the scenes that you have shown for the last couple of days and today. There's a lot of roadways that are gonna have to be reworked and refurbished so that people can get in and out of their homes, and so people can get to and from work.
It is a long road to recovery. And so you declared this state of emergency, and I'm going to read a little bit of that proclamation that you issued yesterday. You said that this is obviously to further mobilize state assets, help people out, and this is going to remain in effect until the threat to public safety ceases to exist. When do you expect that?
Well, honestly, it just depends on how much more rain we get. And the thing that everyone has to understand, it's not just rain that is confined to those lower 6 counties or rain that is confined to the southwest part of our state. Because when water levels in rivers and creeks that are headed towards the Gulf of America get elevated like they are today, rainfall in the central part of the state and rainfall in the north part of the state, which then tends to flow south into the Gulf, leads to potential challenges as well. So I'm not really prepared at this time to even tell you a day or a time when we think that the primary threat is behind us. We are hopeful that the rainfall will slow down, will stop, that the elevated water levels will go back to more normal levels. But again, we're really at the mercy of what the weather does going forward.
We hope that Mother Nature will give you a break so you can dry things out and continue with the recovery process. I know you have your hands full, Governor, so we appreciate you taking the time to talk with us here on Fox Weather. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll continue to keep thinking of you.
Thank you so much for having me on.